Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Gary has the afternoon off. After deliberating 2 full days and part of 2 more days, the jury has returned a verdict in the trial of corrections officers David Kingsley, Matthew Gallagher, and Nicholas Kiefer. First, let's look at how the jury found those that were charged. First, David Kingsley on the charge of second-degree murder, guilty. First-degree manslaughter, guilty. Nicholas Kiefer, not guilty on second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and second-degree gang assault, along with filing a false instrument. Finally, Matthew Gallagher, not guilty on second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and second-degree gang assault. One other corrections officer in this case, Michael Fisher, has had his trial postponed until January. News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris was in the courtroom as the verdict was handed down, and she joins us live in studio with more. Good afternoon, Jolene.
Thank you, Ben. Not sure what happened between Friday and now, because on Friday, the jury sent a note. They wanted more readbacks or more definitions of law, and then they came in this morning and sent a new note to the court saying, forget about those Friday notes, we're close. A couple minutes later, they were back out in the courtroom with a verdict. Nicholas Kiefer's family formed what looked like a prayer circle this morning before the verdict, and it looks like those prayers were answered. He was acquitted, like you said, on all charges, able to walk out of court with his family. You could hear the gasp of relief when the jury foreperson said the words "not guilty" 4 times for Kiefer. He said what's next for him is to go home and hug his family, but first he wanted to address the family of Robert Brooks.
I do want to show my remorse to the family. What happened to them was not something that family should go through. I just am very appreciative of what the jury did and how they were able to deliberate.
I have 0 regrets about the prosecution's case. I had an incredible team. State police were fantastic in investigating the case. There isn't a single thing I could have presented to that jury to make it more clear about the involvement of the 2 defendants. They disagreed, and that's life.
The special prosecutor also alluded to the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of New York investigating this case, so perhaps federal charges? We'll have to wait and see. But to recap, former COs Matthew Gallagher, Nicholas Kiefer acquitted of all charges. David Kingsley convicted of murder and manslaughter, and he will be sentenced in Oneida County Court December 16th.
And Kingsley was taken into custody out of the courtroom, correct?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was trying to tweet and, communicate with everyone in the newsroom, but I'm almost positive I heard the judge say bail's gone and he's being...
And we also have another case involving more corrections officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility. Was there any indication as to how today's verdict may affect that case?
The Nantwee case, yes. Well, initially when asked that question, the special prosecutor said, nope, that's a different case. But then he said what we could all deduce, which is that perhaps some defendants would be concerned about Kingsley's guilty verdict. Others might be emboldened by the acquittals. Who knows?
News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris, thank you very much. Great job all these past 2 weeks covering this.